In a nation like Australia, hunger still happens. Traditionally, we think of hunger happening overseas and foreign aid being needed overseas, but right here in our country, there are people still going hungry. This is called meal insecurity, and according to the Institute of Family Studies, it affects up to 13% of our population every single year. At Dig In, we've been fighting meal insecurity for the last 5 years, having served over 85,000 hot nutritional meals to people in need. And we've done this at local parks in West End and Fortitude Valley each and every Saturday. These types of traditional meal services, think what we traditionally do, soup kitchens, that kind of thing, they operate all around Australia's major capital cities and all do great work. Yet, the problem of meal insecurity still exists, and it exists at a broad scale. This is because there are some major limitations to these traditional operations. There needs to be a solution to corroborate and support the work that these traditional services do. We need more tools in the toolbox to address meal insecurity, and we need to have a solution that we can do at scale. That is why, over the last several years, Dig In has developed a hot food vending machine that's tailor-made and built specifically to resolve meal insecurity. We've had our first prototype machine that we've tested out for the last 18 months, and we've learned a lot from that. We've had this machine in a homeless hostel, and it's currently at St James College, a vulnerable school. These machines are designed to be placed in a variety of different kind of crisis accommodation points, rural and remote communities, vulnerable schools, domestic violence refuges. And the way the machines work, it's on a pin code system. So you've got, imagine like a giant iPad screen where you've got a bunch of different menu options. You simply select the option you'd like, enter in a pin code, and then 2 to 4 minutes later, out pops a hot nutritional meal with cutlery. And the reason why we use a pin code system is purely because we don't want to have these meals at a cost per price for the end user. We want to subsidise that price through donations and that kind of thing. A traditional meal service has a lot of kind of drawbacks and limitations, and we've experienced this over the last 5 years. We're a volunteer-run organisation, and we've learned a lot on how to manage an organisation on a very tight shoestring budget with limited resources. And you'll know that to try and scale these traditional services, the cost of operating cost, the human resources it takes, and logistics are incredibly hard to really reach that impact. And even when you do go to service, it's really hard to get the types of numbers and demand right. If you over-cater meals, you've got the chance of having wastage. If you underdo it, it's devastating because people ultimately miss out. I suppose another important factor to kind of mention today is this human element. People feel shame, sadly, accessing these traditional services. There's people who feel anxiety being in a crowd full of 80 to 100 vulnerable people. And what this crowd environment's like, it's very daunting for certain people. So one of the lovely ladies we serve is a lady by the name Winnie. So Winnie's a 63-year-old who comes down to Dig In each and every Saturday. She's triggered by the dark, loud noises and crowds, but she's like forced to come to Dig In, forced to come here for a meal. And it's something that this service environment, it's not the most welcoming environment. There's 80 to 100 people lining up in a park waiting to be served meals. There can be antisocial behaviour, fights breaking out at any moment. It's a very unpredictable place, and it can be very intimidating for people new to the streets, let alone women and children who are victims of domestic violence, let alone people like Winnie who are suffering from mental illness. We need better solutions to help these people. We want to bring meals to the people through the Hot Food Vending Machine Network. For some, it's a choice between having a meal and feeling fearful, or going hungry and feeling safe, a choice no one should be making. People can find themselves meal insecure at any time for a variety of reasons. And in these situations, the last thing you want to worry about is where your next meal is coming from. So having vending machines where we can ultimately bring meals to the people, have these in strategic locations around Australia, will really help to empower people to access a nutritional feed. The way the vending machines work is they basically operate as a mini kitchen. They operate 24/7, all around the clock. They can serve meals on a one-for-one basis, so it allows us to not waste any food. The person who's accessing the machine can do so on their terms, without feeling any hesitation about shame or anxiety doing it. And if you look at what the vending machines are capable of, a nation like Japan has 5.5 million vending machines. That's one machine for every 23 people. So it can be scaled, and it can be done to fix this solution all across the nation. Now, if you have a look here at our next slide, which is the food, that's the fundamental ingredient to this whole thing, is how do you produce amazing meals that not only taste great, but are also nutritional. So we're very fortunate to partner with a wonderful organisation called FareShare. FareShare, to put it in perspective, have almost like a Bunnings warehouse-sized commercial kitchen in Brisbane. It's the largest charity kitchen in the Southern Hemisphere. So FareShare can produce thousands of meals each and every single day. Their team are dedicated, have a great range of knowledge and experience working in restaurants all around Australia, and they're very passionate about giving back. So we've partnered with FareShare to provide the meals. And I suppose the cherry on top is that the University of Queensland have come on board in their School of Dietetics to help assist with menu curation, to not only make meals taste great, but also be highly nutritional. This allows us to tailor menus and meal offerings. Not only can it be seasonal, but it can match the needs of diabetes-friendly meals, vegan meals. There's a lot of different options we can do with this customization element. We have the meals, we have the hardware, but one of our biggest limiting factors has been our software. And this is the final piece of the puzzle that we need to help roll out and move into our next phase. What you are doing today with your $100 is investing. Investing in a proactive, new and innovative solution to combat meal insecurity, to feed thousands of people every single day. We want to empower the vulnerable through technology. What a software update means, it means the ability to customize PIN codes. So at the moment, our software is very cheap and very clunky. One PIN code equals one meal. But what happens if you're a victim of domestic violence with 3 kids? We want to customize that code. So one code can tell people more than just one meal, and it can really open up a great range of customization elements. And we can do that through software. And the best thing about software is once you've got the foundation there, it's really easy to tweak and modify and build on it. So the vending machine in a vulnerable school may also have a different kind of food menu to what would be having a domestic violence refuge, but it also have different software elements to it to encourage usability, to increase accessibility, and to ultimately fit the goal of serving meals. For $20,000, we can do the entire software upgrade in one go. And how we're going to do this software upgrade is we've got a new trial coming up in August at the Murray School, the First Nations School, and we're conducting face-to-face feedback sessions with FareShare's First Nations member, Jason Mollenhauer, who'll be able to get great insight about the software usability so we can really customise and get it bang on. We welcome you to join us in our fight for against meal insecurity. We welcome you to join our team. No matter the dollar value of the support, we will be appreciative regardless. If you back us, you'll be joining our fight to alleviate hunger in Australia. Together, we're just getting started.
And the sunlight hurts my eye.